Carolina coming in 10-2. The Florida Gators at 7-4. And we are set to get underway tonight here in Charlotte, North Carolina, as Tar Heels win the opening tip.
The advantage for Florida is in the middle with Rashae Kelly, as Myron just mentioned. 7 double-doubles, 4 in a row. She is the target on the inside. Now, on the defensive end, North Carolina has to go at her and try to get her in some foul trouble.
North Carolina, by the way, dropped 5 spots in the poll Monday after losing at Chapel Hill this weekend to top 25 Georgia Tech. Here's a touch by Donarski. Really good shooter, but can't hit the first one. And that one out as we take a look at tonight's starting lineups on the floor, brought to you by Novant Health. And for the Gators, keep an eye on Layla Reynolds, the 6'1 sophomore, who is the second Florida McDonald's All-American in the program, averaging 10 points a game.
Yeah, I think she's just starting to scratch the surface. She's been spending a lot of time with Ryan Howard, the WNBA All-Star, on the bench for Kelly Rae Finley, and I think that's going to help her model her game after Ryan.
Liv McGill getting it to the big. Kyle with a touch. Kicks it out for Warren, and too strong with a three-pointer. And tapped out.
You can't have enough guards in the college game, Dave, and Courtney Bangard has some good ones.
Their starting lineup brought to you by Novant Health. And among those, India Navar, the 5'10 junior, gets 9 points a game. They really spread the scoring around very effectively, as Navar just lost that one out of play.
Former Olympic coach, former ACC Coach of the Year. And Nell Fortner has a backcourt that can score, led behind Tony Morgan and a bunch of really sharp freshmen.
McGill on the move with a drive and scooped that one in beautifully.
And speaking of freshmen, Dave, here is McGill. Liv McGill, the 5'9 freshman, leads the team in assists, but is a very dynamic scorer off the bounce.
Boy, you can tell she really pops. And with the ball in her hand, she's the highest ranked recruit in program history for Florida, and right down the lane, Kelly for 2. Tied up 2-2. Long one on the way, but that clangs off target by McGill. Our officials in this one, Mai Forsberg, Infinity Robinson, and Kristen Bell. Gakdeng in close. Nicely done.
Yeah.
You can see the Gators looking to push that tempo. Reynolds with a pull-up jumper. Got a good look, but they're going to knock it out of play. And Gakdeng coming off a season-best 21 in that game. That defeat against the Yellow Jackets. She was 9 for 11. Ustby has it taken away. Actually lost it herself. In transition, Gassett all the way down for 2.
Yeah, Gassett is a transfer from Louisville, and she brings what Kelly Rae Finley thinks is a
jumper on the way by Navar, knocks it down from three-point land. 5 turnovers for Carolina. Warren for O'Neal on the wing, and too strong. Rebound tipped twice, and back over to the Tar Heels.
So it's not a surprise to see a 6'3", 6'4" with a skill set that can make threes.
Must be straight on, and a good-looking shot.
Just a step inside the three-point line is her range, and that is fine.
Yeah, Coach Finley during that timeout was saying, we got to stop playing one-on-one.
Up through all the way to Florida to be an assistant and then taking over this job right here. I think she's done an excellent job. Mistakes early, learning how to be a head coach, and then getting an opportunity.
Gators at 7-4. They've been up and down state rivalry games. They've played a lot of those.
Let me clarify making mistakes early. Like, it's a learning and process, right? It's a process of learning how to be able to be a leader and to run a program. And when you're around good people, you learn that, and you learn what to do and what not to do.
Nice pass downstairs.
Down 17, fought back against one of the top 10 teams in the country. I thought Todd Golden's team crushed the Tar Heels on the glass late in the game, and that was a big difference in the game.
They made all the big plays. They really did. Downstairs, swinging it inside, and Gakdeng. Really big games if she's the focus of the offense.
When you have a post player that's long and athletic, active, runs the floor.
And later on tonight, in the finale of the Jumpman, it'll be the Michigan men against Oklahoma. Oklahoma is one of those 4 undefeated teams remaining. Straight on Grant coming off the bench. And good range by Lanie Grant. She hits 44% from 3.
Really nice pass to set her up. 12-2 run. 3-run, excuse me. More aggressive playing downhill. Try to get to the free throw line when you're really struggling from the outside.
Sweet from 3. Well, she's come right off the bench.
Right off the bench without a sweat and has knocked down a couple of triples.
Florida, one made field goal in the last 6 minutes. They've got to find a hot hand. Reynolds going airborne on the baseline, and that's going to be an offensive foul. It's impressive to me when a shooter can do that. And I know shooters shoot, that's what they do. But to come off the bench, she hasn't taken a shot in like 20 minutes, since warm-ups. Come off the bench and do that, and they keep reining them in. Shot clock and the final seconds of the quarter winding down here. And North Carolina will come away with a very impressive first quarter.
A shot that they called a 2, but it was a 3 for the Heels.
Yeah, that was for Renaya Kelly. So things are going really well when you go to the timeout in between quarters and you pick up some scoring. North Carolina gaining a point, 23-7, as we're underway in the second quarter. And the Gators looking for a hot hand. And a nice way to start there. Townsend gave up the dribble. Ustby will swing it. The jumper off the back iron by Crisp. The transfer from Arizona State.
And then executing on this end of the floor.
Turned over on the errant pass. Tar Heels able to keep it. The pull-up pop by Grant. That'll roll in. Reynolds on the attack and a whistle.
Be important for Florida as we move forward in the rest of the game.
And number 25, Wake Forest at Clemson. And we cap the afternoon. Should be a really good game. Number 16, Purdue. And number 2, Auburn in Birmingham coming your way.
Purdue was picked to win the Big Ten, but we're going to get a really good look at Michigan later tonight. They're one of the top teams in that league right now. Justin May has done an outstanding job. 2 7-footers in the starting lineup. Should be fun to watch.
Should be a lot of fun. Guards are good too. On the move. Nice move there, going to her left.
She should be a senior in high school. We see that a lot now happening in college basketball.
I talked to Alyssa Ustby earlier today, and she said the thing this year is that they really trust their bench.
And it keeps that same focus and energy at a high level.
Nothing but that. The 5'9" senior needs to get it in the air, but too strong. Great ball movement here. What a quick strike that was for Gakdeng.
They said no.
As Echo gave it up, the three-pointer won't fall for Warren. And it goes. We got to see in the Bahamas, you were broadcasting the event, and you and Beth were on the air doing the game. When he entered the game and got a steal immediately, hit a couple of foul shots, and played really well. I know I would anyway. Downstairs for Kyle. Warren elected not to shoot it from about 17. Shot clock's down to 2. Gassett could not get it in the air. And it was taken away. It's a live ball, and they're going to convert on the other end. Got to know where those feet are.
I carry that tape measure around with me, Dave. Sometimes you just got to go out and measure stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I know the distance over there.
You could have been a carpenter. You're so good with that stuff. And your measures on the outlet. Gassett gets in front of everybody else and will lay it in at the Jumpman in Charlotte. The swing in the corner, Donarski, that didn't touch anything. Big rebound there by Gakdeng.
I might lose my mind on this one if I'm Kelly Ray Finley. Right, here's the vertical. Oh, she does go down right there. I thought she was vertical the whole time.
Yeah, Rashae Kyle with the third foul. So the Gator star in trouble. And spending a lot more time on the bench than she would like in foul difficulty. Official been around a while. A lot of big games in her career. McGill again. And swishes it in. She can handle the ball.
Yeah, she's got it on a string. But now we need to see for her the next evolution at point guard is making a play for someone else and making somebody else's job easier. She takes a lot of tough shots.
She does, spinning in the lane, and that's a shot that Alyssa Ustby can make it 6-1. She took a really hard shot to the face, to the nose about 5 minutes ago. And a whistle.
She's a golfer.
Yeah, I mean, that's in the bio.
Golf team at the KL Cancer Fund. event in August.
Yeah, they didn't print that. I bet she's pretty good, though. I have a funny feeling. Last seconds before halftime. Downstairs for Ustby and a strike. So 39 and counting for the Tar Heels. Liv McGill going to run a little bit of clock here and set up a shot now for Florida.
Trying to force her left. They're yelling weak. And then the switch.
Another shot. She's taking the both of them for Florida. North Carolina by 19 here in game number 1 of our 2 at the Jumpman. Townsend with it on the drive. Will bank it in. And the last shot of the first half, like so many others, goes down for North Carolina.
And they got quality contribution from the bench.
So underway in the second half, we have one more game tonight after this one on the men's side, and that should be a heck of a battle between undefeated Oklahoma and Michigan, both ranked in the top 25. Oklahoma's up to number 10 now. They won the battle for Atlantis earlier this season. Must be with a stop and pop.
She works hard for position, and North Carolina uses some clock and gets her a quality catch.
Coming out of the tunnel, obviously not happy. Sounded a lot like Hubert Davis did at this same juncture at halftime. Talking a lot about toughness. We weren't tough enough. She said we have to play our brand of basketball. That was her message to the team at halftime.
Boy, for a long time last night, that worked out for Hubert, that particular message. He lit a fire under his team. They were down 17 at one point. They rallied to take the lead, but Florida held them off in the end and won a big one, which was effectively a road game for the Gators here in Charlotte. And they remain undefeated. There are 4 men's undefeated teams right now. Up top, here's Donarski. Dangerous beyond that three-point line. Giving it off for Ustby. Trying to get more involved offensively. Double up on her. The long one on the way. And a sweet shot by India Navarre.
Pace. All those things are important.
Well, she took a lot of shots in the first half. She was 3 for 12. Strong move, and that's the game of Kyle. As she's fouled on the play.
That's the other thing about bigs that you look at, Dave. You know, when you get to halftime and your bigs don't have a lot of fouls, you can be a little more aggressive to start the second half and try to get a few shots that maybe you wouldn't have tried before.
Well, you know, this part of the game of Layla Reynolds.
She's going to matter for the Gators when it comes to winning time in close games.
She's been okay, 35% for the year. But wide open like that, they're going to hit them all day. Reynolds again looking to make a move and lost it.
So important when you're trying to run good offense. And North Carolina has really made it challenging for Florida.
We had a chance to talk to Renee Kelly, and she said, you know, some teams say they have chemistry, team genuinely gets along, and they spend a lot of time together.
Talking to a player that's the point guard, and the first thing out of her mouth is chemistry and team, then you know you got a winner.
When she's on the floor.
Has a lot to do with her player development for Kelly Ray Finley.
Navarre going to the cup, can't hit it. And now McGill in transition. She can really hit the three-point shot. She's 44% from three-point land. Going in strong, and she'll draw the foul. And for the season, 70%, sinking number 1. And actually got tested pretty good, but for you, who's the best?
UConn is looking good. Southern Cal is behind the play of Juju Watkins, which is a household name.
Well, you know, watching it the other night against UConn, how could anyone argue that now, right?
Not right now, but
she
that
is
could
so
change.
dynamic.
That could change.
Yep.
You know, and I think that the women's game has evolved so much. The product is so good.
Sure is.
Actually, I was in shoot-around. Well, actually, it wasn't even shoot-around. It was practice. I was at practice. Jose gave me the clipboard and let me draw 3 plays for his team to execute. We scored on 2 of them.
Not bad. He's like, hey, can I make you an offer to stay on the staff?
No, but that, you know, going back to our discussion earlier, you and they're comfortable talking to you as well. It's all about the kids, really. It should be.
Thomas with a miss inside.
The young women that are playing the game. I'm calling them kids.
So much talent. You know, you look at a player like this one right here, like Liv McGill. And another whistle.
Since you saw South Florida, you know that Jose Fernandez, the head coach there, will have his pressure package in. I'm anxiously awaiting the outcome of that one.
It's a gritty team. Don Staley's team's a great basketball
they're so good.
team.
Like they're physically gifted and talented basketball players.
Really are. And they return it with championships, with rings.
I think it's 12 years in a row now that South Carolina has led the nation in attendance.
Yes.
And they love it. And they are early arrival fans, and they love the tailgate. I've seen it. You know, Dawn built a product that was successful the other way around. It's not build some great promotion and then think that they're going to show up. You got to have a good product.
Out for Chris. Good open look, but not there. North Carolina on top 51-36 as Florida tries to cut it. Salgas, the 5'9" senior from France, at the line. She played 4 years in Miami before transferring.
Battled several different injuries. It's good to see her healthy playing and enjoying. She's a kid that every time I see her in the gym, she gives me a hug. It's because I've been around and she's seen me in the gym and we've had conversations.
Florida's on a 14-0 run. They were before that. 2:20 to go in the third quarter. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Cynthia Jordan putting her arm around Kenza. You know, they're hugging up on the kids right now and trying to keep them encouraged.
Grant coming in to follow her miss, but instead Hull picks it off. Trying to get it back down inside. Gakdeng. She can be a lot to handle down there at 6'3". Reynolds with a pull-up pop at the elbow. No. Tapped around, and it'll be North Carolina. Lanie Grant, who had an outstanding first half handling the ball here, 10 points off the bench. And really led their surge. Nice cut and a nice quick switch. Terrific game against Georgia Tech over the weekend with 21. She'll tap this away. Lost the basketball for a moment. And a whistle. She took 11 shots against the Yellow Jackets over the weekend. She hit 9 of them. Tonight, and right about there, 50%.
I don't think that anything would make Coach Al happier than to see a group of young women that play golf representing the ACC on a team at the KL Cancer Fund tournament. That would be fun.
Kyle draws the foul.
Get that done.
20.3 to go in the third, and first two games, SMU Penn State and Happy Valley, and then Clemson, Texas. That's a great matchup. The money is on the Georgia Bulldogs to do it again. Here's Grant open from three-point land and too much iron. That's the end of three. You can really see those numbers blowing up over the course of the season for the North Carolina star. And underway here in the fourth quarter, North Carolina by 19. Townsend steps back. They can't drill the long one, but a big block. And the Gators star, Reynolds will pull up, and that one partially blocked. And a traveling violation.
The incredible effort. They're just not productive in their effort.
Following shot and a foul. And swishes in another one. North Carolina really doing it for the most part without Ustby, although she's had an all-around game, and that's a good way for the Gators.
She provides so many other things that stuff the stat sheet.
Maybe a little bit of a door opening up here for the Gators. As you said, try and at least climb to within 10. Trying to make a game of it with Reynolds on the move. Here's Warren down the lane. Wild shot. She made it anyway. And drew the foul.
One opportunity.
They got it for a three-point play. So the Gators showing some life. As Townsend quickly gets it into the offensive end here for North Carolina out of the trap. And they'll swing it for Grant. Got it.
And she's taken what has been available to her as a shooter. She's moving herself up the scouting report.
And before the shot, that's going to be an offensive foul. Out high here for Navarre. She'll set it up now for Courtney Banghart. And picked off. The quick hands of McGill. McGill will pull up and fire. Decided not to drive it. Gets it back outside. She'll shoot again. And went 0 for 2. Navarre again out of the double. Townsend shoveling that one downstairs, and they'll draw the foul.
Good sample of Kyle on the court yet. It's a really important part to what they do.
So back up to 20 for North Carolina. Here's Warren up top. Looking for a cutter. Zeko and a foul. The senior from Switzerland. And knocks down number 1. And got the pair. Then 14th foul for the Gators. Must be reversing field and lays it in. Nifty move. Kyle doesn't shoot it. Reynolds slashing in the paint. Airborne, yes.
Really nice job of filling behind that penetration.
Ustby gets into the lane, and a clean block by Kyle. Got it back. And Gakdeng draws the foul. And the 6'3 senior. Short on the first. You were talking about the Oklahoma men off to a perfect start. I think still should have made the NCAA tournament.
And don't think that Porter didn't talk about that today, because he did. He definitely mentioned it. That it still burns a little fire in his belly, right? He thought until the very last week, and there were 5 bid stealers last year. My new teammates, quite a bunch of, this is an incredible neighborhood where all these kids had a draft to decide who got to pick what jersey to wear from the Tar Heels. And they all have a different jersey. They all have a different name on the back of their jersey. And it was incredibly fun. Like, there's some of my new teammates: Eli, Neum, Tucker, Jack, Grayson, Gray, Liam, Nora, Blair, and I think I missed a few, but pretty much it was quite a time in the neighborhood.
I can't blame you for missing a few. There were 100 kids out there surrounding you. Reynolds with a nice touch knocks down the jumper. It's about midway through the first quarter. Trying to add on. Donarski can't hit from 3. So up 20. McGill tried to cup that one in, but it won't fall. Donarski out in front. Going to try and lay this in, and she'll finish it. And both sides going heavy to their bench here down the stretch. And a reach and a foul.
Let me say this about Sydney Barker. She was a walk-on, but she was awarded a scholarship in February of last season.
You think of all the hard practice hours and the dedication it takes. You know, to walk on. You know, you're not going to play very much. Most of your value, 98% of it is in practice. And to be awarded a scholarship, especially a great school like North Carolina or Florida. I mean, tough academic institutions where you have to be a student as well. You really have to work in the classroom. It doesn't feel like she has to press the matter of scoring.
No.
But she does so many other things to help them win.
She is a 100% value-added player.
The Charlotte native knocks down the first one. First time since 08. Louisville against Pitt. Then it's Penn State, Nebraska. Winners play for the national championship Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC.
That is going to be in the Yum Center at Louisville, which will be absolutely rocking. Should be so awesome. And how about Louisville making it to the Final Four in their hometown? Congrats to all Final Four coaches and teams.
Be a great atmosphere there, and a reach and a foul by McGill. One team to watch, as we saw in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
They made it to the championship, and they shocked everybody.
Jeff Walls has led the ACC in attendance for 15 years, I believe. They pack it in there.
6'6" star for the Gators. Great numbers coming in. 17 points, 10 rebounds. Early foul trouble. Spent most of the game really on the bench. And now here in the late stages with the game getting out of hand, remains there, but she's had some terrific games already this season. Down to the last 20 seconds. And McGill on the run will scoop it in.
Well, Florida's going to look at this, and they're going to learn from it. And they have a daunting schedule in front of them. Their SEC is tough. The North Carolina rebounds off a tough loss at home to Georgia Tech. And rolls to the finals here. Final here.
North Carolina with the victory, 77-57. And now 11-2 on the season as Florida drops to 7-5.